Section 2 baseball in full force here as we continue our push towards sectionals. Joining me every Monday morning in the month of May is Dan Savit, director of the Prep Baseball Report New York. Find him on Twitter at PBR New York. Dan, thanks for being with us. How are you?
Hey, thanks for having us. I'm doing pretty good. Loving this warm weather.
Yeah, finally feels like baseball, huh?
Absolutely.
So we talked last week about Ian Anderson, and while he gets a lot of attention, you like to talk about some other people. You can't not talk about this kid. Shen, another great week. Last week they go unbeaten, and Ian Anderson hits 93 miles an hour on the gun against Burnt Hills. Pretty impressive, right?
Well, I mean, we were there, had him at 93 a couple times in the first inning. I think you need to take a step back when you talk about Ian Anderson and look at what position he's put himself in. You know, he's a 2016 graduate. He still has another year. He's already verbally committed to Vanderbilt, which is, you know, arguably the number one college program, you know, for baseball in the country. And then you look at his work ethic, which we've been told is extreme. We've been told that he comes from a great family. When you look at those core values, and then you just look at the sheer ability, the God-given talent. You know, we've talked at, you know, at the Prep Baseball Report with our national guys. We think this kid was like, you know, built from the gods above the pitch. I mean, he just has one of the most clean, freest arms we've seen. He's you know, so lean. There's so much more that he could put on body size, and I think velocity projection. You know, 93 right now is phenomenal. But I think there's, you know, when he's in his career, 25, 26 years old, where you really reach your maximum peak, I think he could be a mid to upper 90s guy with a great breaking ball. You know, you could take a look at Scott Blewett last year, who was a second-round pick. Money-wise, he really was a first-round pick. But he was 6'5", 220 with a good breaking ball, touching 94. Ian Anderson has so much more projection, and he's really right in that same ballpark with tools. So it's actually pretty scary.
Blewett out of Baldwinsville. Dan, you played professional baseball. Where does Ian Anderson project in pro ball? He's a draft pick next year, by all accounts. How high can he get in next year's draft?
Well, I mean, he has Vanderbilt, which is a great you know, bargaining chip. He has options. I mean, if he doesn't get drafted extremely high, like a Blewett, where the money is kind of hard to walk away from, he's going to go develop. He's going to go get better at Vanderbilt. I think if you're a kid and you're his family, you are in a great position. He keeps getting better. Last year we saw him in October in Florida, and he was, you know, he touched 91, but he's an 87, 89 guy, and now he's getting better. And like I said, you've seen him. A lot of guys have seen him. He's extremely wiry. He's little. He's probably, 180, 190 at best, not even.
Yeah, I would say not even.
Yeah, so I mean, he's a guy that's going to put on weight, and obviously when you get more momentum, more weight, you're going to throw a little bit harder just as you mature. So he's definitely, in my opinion, him and Jeff Belge next year are going to be pushing the first round. If they continue to develop, it's going to be a great year for New York State baseball in the draft next year.
Let's push it to the other end of the spectrum. A freshman that you're really high on that I see you talking about. Shen played Troy last Friday night in the Coaches versus Cancer Classic at Joe Bruno Stadium. There's a freshman on Troy that you're really high on. Tell us about him.
Okay, this kid's name is David Judge. We really, really like this kid. We've seen him quite a few times. This kid's like 6', 6'1", 180 pounds. He's already kind of physical for a ninth grader. I mean, I think it's a pretty impressive stat to be on varsity, let alone start on varsity and be a guy that's really making, you know, an impact. He already has 6 doubles, 2 home runs. He's probably one of their best arms on the mound. We had him the other day up to 84, sitting 80, 82 with a little bit of a slider. I mean, I think this kid, if he goes low, if he stays in the Northeast, he has a chance to be a dual guy. He has that many tools. If he goes to a big school, he's, you know, probably a corner guy. He's already 6 foot, 6'1". You know, he has real broad shoulders. Well, a guy that you look and you're like, man, this guy's gonna project at the next level more. So we like him. He's going to be on our PBR New York Futures East team, and you know, we think with all the colleges we have coming to that, we're going to have he's going to have a lot of coaches, you know, contacting. So we're pretty excited about that.
Dan Savit of the Prep Baseball Report at PBR New York on Twitter. You just mentioned the Futures game you got coming up this summer. What other events you have coming up this summer, and just how many opportunities are guys going to have to get seen?
Well, you look at last year was our first year. We did a good job getting out there, but it was still new to a lot of people. A lot of people, get flooded with these sort of showcases and things, and we try to make sure people know that we're a lot more than a showcase company. We do the scouting, we do the social media, we really are pushing kids, at all different sort of spectrums. So we did a good job last year. I think we had 50 kids, which is a pretty remarkable ratio. 50 kids are going to college to play baseball that came to events last year. That's pretty much the 2015 class. And a lot of kids in the Andrew Padone was a kid that, did really well at some of our showcases and got some good looks. He's going to Cortland, one of the best Division III schools in the country. So, I mean, if you look at players like that got opportunities, we hope that we help them. This year we have a showcase series. We're going to be in Albany on the 29th of July. We're going to be in the Lower Hudson Valley on the 12th of August. We're basically just trying to get these kids as much exposure, and then once they come, we have like 500 plus colleges that actually pay us subscribers. So if they're not at the event, worry not, because we're gonna make sure that they see what the videos. They're gonna see the scouting reports. They're gonna see all the stuff we put out social media wise. It's really starting to develop and get bigger, and I just want people to know that no matter how big it gets, I will be always there, and I will always be working hard for their kids.
Dan Savit, Prep Baseball Report, New York. We'll do it again next Monday. Thanks for being with us, Dan.
Hey, appreciate it. Thanks, guys.